Thank you. And that's what I would love the whole time, some engagement. This is put on by our communications and engagement department and our manager's office team. And we are just thrilled to have our very first town hall listening session. So give yourselves a hand for just being here and participating. And the key message is that I want you to know that we are here to listen. This is a listening session. We want to hear your concerns, any questions, and our staff is here to take notes and to respond accordingly in a organized manner. And so it's likely we will take frequently asked questions or themes, concerns, and come up with a strategy to react to them, respond, and post them on our Engage Carborough website that you'll hear a little bit more about later. For housekeeping rules, there's a bathroom. You leave out of here, turn right, and an immediate left. There's bathrooms down this hall. And the other thing is, this is the first time we've done anything in this space. So this is our new performance space in the new Drakeford Library. So we are really excited and thrilled that our first program is to hear from our residents in our community. The first part of the program, I do want to highlight a couple of things, and then the majority of the time we will be hearing from you. I do want to introduce my staff. I have an amazing leadership team. We have two pillars of the town, and so we also have two chief officers that fulfill those pillars. One is race equity, is a strong pillar of the town. We want to continue for that to be a pillar of our town. And Miss Anita Jones McNair is our chief race and equity officer. Yay. And we also have a brand new, we just created an Office of Sustainability, Climate Action. You all know that is a major pillar and priority of our community. We love our trees, we love our environment, we love walkable communities where the air is clean and less cars. And so we hired our new Chief Sustainability Officer, Miss Amy Armbruster. So those are our two pillars. They're sitting in the front. They keep us lifted, and our goal is to infuse these priorities throughout the organization and everything we do in all of our processes. So I'm grateful for them. In the back, we have some more staff. We have our police chief, stand up, Chief Chris Atak. We have our interim planning director, Miss Tina. She's very shy. Our community housing and community director, and that's Miss Anne Marie Veneman. And we have a very new, and I'm really proud, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Chaz Offenberg. Yeah. A really, really smart team, and so I'm just really proud of my team. Did I miss any others? Oh, I cannot forget our amazing community engagement director and community engagement manager, Miss Kat Lazorko and Miss Eve. She's back there taking pictures. They are so amazing, and I really am grateful. People coming in, please come up. There are a few seats up here. We want you all to fill in, and come on up, because okay, all right, they want to be intimate. All right, so thank you all for being here today. Help yourself to sandwiches. Feel free. This is a informal community setting, so feel free to get up at any time, have some snacks, some sandwiches, some cookies at any given time. So do not feel pressured to stay in your seats, but we do want this to be a respectful environment. We do want to hear people's voices and their concerns. So please respect each other when we get to the portion of our program where we are hearing from you. All right, I've been talking. You all got postcards if you're residents of the community, and if there was a video message to the QR code from the mayor. So I just want to play a bit of that message right now.
For several weeks, residents from across town have been reaching out to share their concerns over the dramatic impacts we are witnessing from the reshaping of our federal government. There are also changes proposed from the state level. North Carolina General Assembly House Bill 244 would allow only certain flags to be flown or displayed on state and local government properties. House Bill 171 would prohibit the use of government funds in support of DEI programs in state and local governments. The Town Council and I are deeply concerned about these harmful policies coming down from higher levels of government. We are certainly living in some uncertain and chaotic times. Even members of our community have been impacted by these changes. Jobs have been lost, funding has been cut, and people are really hurting. This is a time for us to come together in the spirit of community and help one another, because if one of us is impacted, we all are. We are one community.
Okay, so we've heard directly from our mayor a few of the concerns. There is a House bill that is circulating, House Bill 171, that will essentially end all things DEI. It is one of the top pillars of our community. We pride ourselves on race, on equity, accessibility, a sense of belonging. And if this bill becomes law, it's even punitive if we continue to do any race equity work. And so I did want to just take a moment to at least highlight our race equity work and our Chief Race Equity Officer to come up and give a few words, and then we'll show a brief video, and then I promise we'll get to hearing your thoughts on some of the House bills. And there's a second one, which is House Bill 244, that would not allow us to fly any flags, essentially, except for the United States flag without any additional authority. So I want Anita to come, give a few words. We'll show a brief video, 5-minute video of some of the work that they've been doing in our community. So, Miss Anita?
Thank you, Town Manager Toney. Good morning, everyone. I had to prepare some notes because I can go all day with this topic, so if you could just indulge me. We have been on this transformational journey for the past 6 years. We have been very intentional in local government in a partnership with community. The council's direction has always been to take a deeper look, a deeper dive in the work and center our community. And that's what we've been doing. We've spent more time listening, more time engaging, and more time educating our community about services and resources. We've been expanding opportunities to hear from everyone in the community, because that's so important to us. We've been examining our policies, practices, and procedures, as well as service delivery, and trying to remove those barriers that's causing us not to be able to do that. We are also building more partnerships in the community, because we know we're stronger together, and that work is so important. The video says a lot, but I certainly want to highlight just a few of some of our wins along the way on this journey. I first want to mention the town center kiosk throughout town, in which we are able to post information and resources. We have started updating sidewalks with curb ramps so we can meet our ADA compliance requirements, and that's now in our resurfacing projects program, our annual program. We have a criminal justice debt program designed to relieve court fines and fees. A free weatherization program is currently underway, and there's an application assistance if needed. The adoption of the language access plan, where there was a partnership with refugee community partners and building integrated communities. Implementation of the Carrboro Family Financial Assistance Program for some families in need this year. The launch of Carrboro Boost, which is a program for small businesses and businesses that need coaching and training to help them thrive. The Community Safety Task Force was formed, and they partnered with IFC in community canvassing and also phone banking to hear about safety and policing. And they also presented a recommendation report to the town council. We completed a disparity study to take a look at our town's procurement process. And last, I want to mention our having transportation to and from some of our senior living facilities, to senior events. And so this is just some of the things that we've been able to do the past 6 years, being very intentional about the work. You will see a QR code behind you. If you're interested in understanding more about the work that we're doing, please use that QR code, or you can go to webpage Race and Equity in Carrboro, and you can receive that same information. And so I'm going to stop, and we'll show that quick video.
Carrboro is mighty.
Carrboro is innovative.
Para mí, Carrboro es un espacio de esperanza.
Carrboro is facing race and embracing equity. That is what we have been tasked to do, and that's the journey we've been on for the past 6 years.
Here at the town of Carrboro, it's been an honor to spend time learning and growing, especially with Anita. Being able to just really build off of each other to reinforce and embed race and equity into how the town operationalizes.
We are a very small organization. And so when we first learned about the GARE framework, what I immediately gravitated to was the fact it provided resources and tools to get the job done. Because we knew we needed to move forward, but where do we begin? Well, it gave us the framework, it gave us the blueprint.
So the race equity work is ensuring that race does not determine outcomes or success within the community. It balances the scale, if you would, and gives opportunity for everyone to have a chance to thrive within our community. And so that's the race equity work that we're doing here in the town of Carrboro. Is different, it's transformative, but it's also necessary.
It's really powerful to see that in the town of Carrboro, their town council said, we want this. We want this for our community. But Carrboro, recognizing that they had desire and will, was not enough. They needed to build capacity, build language, and they needed to learn.
And so we took about 1.5 years normalizing the work to understand the work that we were doing and why we needed to do it. We were able to train through a North Carolina convening through GARE, and after we finished that, we also trained all of our employees. It's important to institutionalize the work. You got to lay the groundwork in a foundation. GARE provides that.
The Racial Equity Action Plan was developed by the Race and Equity team here at the town of Carrboro in 2024. We looked at the next 5 years of what we wanted to do as a town, and that included us meeting with all 12 of our departments and working through the policies, practices, and procedures, and really figure out how race and equity needs to be embedded in the work that we do day to day. The fire department has taken a special interest in making sure that we're recruiting diverse firefighters, and they've recruited their most diverse class this year. We've been able to sit down with the fire department and actually go through the different hiring practices, making sure that we're recruiting through GARE, recruiting through different HR boards to really go out and get people who speak a different language. So when they're responding to different emergencies, or when we're doing trainings about how car seats should be put in, and we go to El Centro, we also have people on our forces that speak those languages.
It's so important. I mean, people have to feel comfortable with who's coming in their space. If you don't feel comfortable, you're not going to take advantage of a resource or opportunities that's available to you. And the fire department has been working diligently to provide recruits that can serve the community and that reflect what's in the community.
The Racial Equity Commission was formed to allow for community members to actually come in and provide recommendations and feedback, which means that here at the town of Carrboro, everything before it becomes adopted into practice has to go through our community members. We strive to include all of the populations around Carrboro. We were able to partner with the local refugee community as well as El Centro, which is our organization that supports the Hispanic and Latinx population here, to make sure that they have the opportunity to really shape the places that they're living in.
The challenge with bringing in that racial equity lens is you are including individuals that are being most impacted. The decisions may take a little longer because you've got to take more time to engage the community to make sure you're reaching everyone. But now it's become transformational because we're listening to voices, we're bringing in those specific needs of the community.
I love hearing how Carrboro engages its broader citizenry in its government processes. This is what can happen when government is in active partnership with community, working to change conditions, solve problems together.
This is about putting a system in place where everybody will have what they need to thrive. How can we engage the community better? We can't do this alone. This is not just Carrboro employees' work. This is community work, and it's going to take all of us to move it forward.
All right. Good video, right? Great work, Anita and her team, and we just hold this work so valuable and close to our heart, and it's at risk. So that's just one of the things we just wanted to bring to you of concern for the town. And so I do want to acknowledge Susan and Azada, who are providing language access service in the back. So we're just grateful. This is one of the ways we try to be accessible and equitable. So yes, you can give her a hand. Yeah. And you saw our fire departments right now is one of the most diverse that it's ever been in the history of the Carrboro Fire Department. I'm representing Chief, but Chief Potter. I get them mixed up. Chief Potter is back in the corner. I didn't recognize him before, but the fire chief. And he's doing this work, and we see the results of working with GEAR, working with the race equity team in doing that. Our first Asian female firefighter in the history of the department. So we're just really proud of our work in race equity. Okay. I think I'm done talking. I do want to hear from you all. Like I mentioned, just let's be respectful. We want to hear from you. I don't want to make strict rules, but I try to limit your comments to around 3 minutes or so. I mean, with some grace, right? If you really have something important to say, but also we want to make sure everyone has a chance to speak and talk. And once again, our goal is not to try to answer or address everything. If there's something, very important that we need to address on the spot, we will. We have our team here, but otherwise we'll just take notes and respond later. So I'm also willing to hand you the mic, or you can come forward to speak at the podium, whatever you're comfortable with. And so you can raise your hand. Someone can start walking this way, really in an informal way. So, okay. Do you want me to bring the mic to you? Okay. And we would I also want to make a point that this is being documented. So I don't want you to, you see Eve with the camera, just so you're comfortable knowing that there is some documentation of this. So, and just say your name too.
So I'm Lucy Gorham, and watching this and hearing you all speak, it just makes me even more proud to be a member of the Carrboro community, and I even feel kind of choked up that this could be at risk. So my question to you is, what can we do to support you? I'm sure our, General Assembly reps are very much in tune with what you're doing. So, we can sort of complain to them, but they're not the. So how can we help you?
Great question, Lucy. And I would love to hear thoughts from you all. Yes, organizing, sending emails, it does matter. And raising your voice around concerns that you care about for the impact the Carborough community. I don't think we remain silent on it. And so we will continue to think of ways of how to engage the community and hear your voices. And if this is something that you all value and think is important that we should fight for, right? And so I think the council would want to know, is this a space that we value and want to continue this work? You saw the great work, and this is the reason. This is the first time this video has been shown. So even our staff hasn't seen it, but we thought it important to put it together to just highlight the impact, the community. This is Carborough, right? We saw the farmers market, we saw Carborough in motion. This is our community. And so I want to stay on this theme, if okay.
So, hi, my name's Cody. Sort of along those lines, in terms of community action, and I don't know the rules on this. Can the council, can y'all organize a petition against those House bills? Again, just some kind of unified action within the community that all of us, I mean, even in this room, this is a pretty big resource, right? So even something here, is that possible?
All things are possible. Yes, all things are. Yes, we will look to do that. We'll take notes and try to think through what's the best strategy and way forward. Okay. Ms. Nears.
Hi, I'm Neris Livy, and on the 27th of April, we will have the 25th Manadip Mildred Council Community Dinner with 500 people, supported by the town of Carborough and the Orange County Department of Equity and Inclusion. To build this building, we got more support and suggestions about how this building should look at the community dinner than in any other meeting. So I would suggest that the town of Carborough will be there with maybe a petition, maybe some ideas about how to represent the community against these bills. But more importantly, sitting together, eating with each other at the community level and sharing a table with people is the most important thing to get to know your neighbors and to actually link together as a community to show our strength. So this is a community networking thing. The other thing is to support the library and to become friends of the library. The library is the bastion of democracy. So these are areas where we need to show your strength. We have a corridor going into the dinner where we allow nonprofits to come and share their information. And so last year we had 19 nonprofits in the community dinner before the dinner. We also have food from organizations, and we have celebrations. We have entertainment from different community groups, Hispanic groups, Native American groups, and children. So to show gatherings of like we have today is the most important thing, but also we have to put our names against these bills. So these gatherings are name collecting places. We don't want to lose any opportunity.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Food brings us together, right? And those are some opportunities that we can definitely piggyback on. Yes.
My name is Paige Davis. I have been here in this area a long time. I was just going to say, I'm glad you said what you said, because as much as I care about appearances, the meeting was kind of getting off on symbolic things, a lot of symbolic things. And that's important. But carry on television can look like a wonderful, progressive, liberal community really well. But we know what Cary is. And the trouble in Chapel Hill now, we know what Chapel Hill is turning into. And this could happen here. And so I think maybe what you were talking about, getting into some substance, might be a good idea. I'm just.
Cody, did you want to respond to that?
I just got here like 18 months ago.
Okay. She's concerned about what Chapel is turning into. So, okay. May, are you wanting to chime in on this topic? Okay. And then I do see your hand, and so you'll be next.
May McClendon, and Lucy started off by something I was going to say about the bills. And it's nice to have all of us involved, and we know who our legislators are. But also, remember, you could also contact other legislators. I have a letter right now somewhere in my house from a gentleman who's now a senator who used to be the Speaker of the House. So when there was something coming up that I didn't agree with, I definitely let my legislators know, but they knew me anyway. But he got to the point where he knew I was going to send a letter. But at least the email, he knew, and at least I knew somebody in his office would read it. Because those are the people whose conscience you have to change. Because ours, you kind of take for granted that they're going to vote the right way. Sometimes you have to keep tabs on some of those too. But you can feel comfortable. You should be able, as a citizen of this state, to contact any member of the General Assembly, and at the same time do partnerships with other groups who are also have similar ideas. And it might not be a government group, it might not be a political group, but other groups, and I put groups in parentheses. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss May. All right, there was a hand back here, raised high. I'm coming your way. And if y'all could stand, would be helpful. Thank you. Great.
Hello, my name is Isaac Woolsey. I am a disability rights advocate and activist and a public transit advocate and activist. I've noticed that in the town of Carborough, most of the people who are disabled or mentally ill are either on the streets homeless or that they live in a slumlord apartment. They don't own their own housing. And I think that is wrong and inexcusable. And if we want to be equitable, we need to work on having everyone have their own house and property. I live in a house with 3 other men that's infested with cockroaches, and I don't own it. And I think that especially since I don't mean to like become entitled or anything, but I literally helped with the Chapel Hill Transit, bringing it back to the evening routes and restoring the bus stop at Merritt Mill Road. And I can't even afford a house, even though I have a job. And the housing has gone up exponentially. I'm on disability, which means I make less than $1,100 a month, which there's rent, there's properties for rent that are way more than that, and I think that is way inappropriate. I'm gonna go off, and my Spanish is a little rusty, but I'm gonna try to say some things in Spanish. Necesitamos casas por todos. Necesitamos casas nuestra gente. Casa por todos. Housing for all. Thank you, and I hope I rang true with y'all.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Affordable housing, that is a priority of our town. The market's growing. There's a reval year. The rates are expected to exceed up to 52% in growth in the property value. And so we know this is a concern, and our housing director is back there. She's taking notes. And so we continue to try to work on strategies to improve our housing situation. And as Isaac mentioned, on top of it just not being affordable, people with disabilities or any other barrier, it mounts on the problem of fixed income. So we thank you, Isaac, for those words. Okay, Lori.
Thanks. Hey, I'm Lori Carter. I will kind of piggyback on what Isaac said. Thank you. One of the things that is a concern that I have is mutual aid. We currently have multiple food banks, food service options. Some of those banks get a lot of food from the larger food bank, which we just said, that we just had $11 million cut in funding to that food bank. So my concern is, how do we continue to take care of people? I don't know about you guys, but my brain kind of explodes every day with the news, right? Like literally just like, what do we do? And I'm two-headed, right? On one hand, I want to, go to DC and yell and scream and do all those things. But then I also I want to pull everybody around me in tighter, right? If you know me at all, I'm like teen mom, community mom, school mom, street mom, all of the above. I know Miss Betty's back at me, but truly, like, and so there are places where we intersect that. One, again, is food, right? So whether that's IFC or table or the Culpeth Road Food Pantry or porch, how do we keep those resources flowing? The other thing that we saw this winter was I will graciously call it a breakdown in our ability to take care of folks on those cold winter nights, right? I would assert that with some planning and forethought, that there could be a community in town partnership, in partnership with IFC, with other churches. If we have a space, then shoot, I can cause people to show up and help and get trained. What I can't do is provide a space. So that's another place. So all those places where our folks on the margins are, and then frankly, we have lots of folks, even folks in this room, who, have advanced degrees who are also without a job right now. Right. So I think we should be prepared as a community to reach out and take care of each other better. And so that's the place where have the greatest concern. It's two-headed. It's out there, but then it's also like right here.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lori. Winter shelter. What do we do about these federal cuts that are impacting us? Okay.
Hi, my name is Chris Van Hasselt, and I've lived in Carrboro for at least 25 years. So this might be a little bit pessimistic, and it comes from, having a lawyer in the family. But I think the town of Carrboro needs to identify pro bono legal representation that can help the town and individuals in the town who are going to be facing, frankly, harassment by either the federal or state government. And the town itself, from this bill that you're talking about, I think it's a violation of free speech. That's my opinion. I'm not a lawyer. But the town needs to, if the town caves into it, then you're on that slippery slope, and a lot of people are already on it. Okay, we also have a lot of undocumented folks in this town. I personally think they are here to work. I know they're here to work, and they enrich our town with everything from keeping the kitchens running in all our great James Beard awarded restaurants, and having taco trucks and small businesses throughout the town. I can't magically make there be a path to citizenship for them, But I think the town is going to have to step up and find legal resources that can work on a pro bono basis or paid through the town to support some of these people who, are potentially facing separation from loved ones, either in the States or, sent off to El Salvador. Who the hell knows? You know, so I just want to encourage you to do that. And for community members, maybe some in this room that can stand up and, offer their assistance on that front.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Okay, legal services, pro bono. All right, I'm going to go to Carrie since we hadn't heard, and then.
Hi, I'm Carrie Bullock-Ozcan. I've been here a little over 20 years, and piggybacking on what the gentleman just said, I would like to know what policies the town is putting in place to protect our immigrant residents, including those who are here on visas, who have green cards, etc. My son is a first-generation American on his dad's side, and so are several of his friends, and I'm very concerned about them. They're teenagers, they're wandering around our town. And I'm concerned for their safety.
Kind of again to piggyback off of the immigration concerns, I know for a fact that Valerie Fushi, her office, if you call, she will hook you up with resources. She has done, and by the way, Congresswoman Fushi is our representative. She has done a webinar for immigration rights. But I share Carrie's concern. My spouse is in England right now trying to go through the process of getting their green card. It is it is such a hard journey. We started our journey to their green card in September 2023. They're not here yet. And if I have anything that I would like to ask the community is if you have any friends who tell you, oh, just get married, tell them that you have heard from a white person whose spouse is from England, who's also white, whose family has so much financial privilege that it took them 2 years to get that spouse from England to the United States. And now, because of this administration, because of the way they're treating green card holders and visa holders, what am I bringing my spouse home to? How do I protect them? And we have a lawyer. Her name is Megan Deutsch Blanco. I recommend her. She's amazing. She was also part of that webinar that Congresswoman Fushi hosted. But yes, any more extra layers of protection for my spouse, because also we're both queer. I'm trans, I'm non-binary, my partner is too. How soon is it going to be until they get to us? It's immigrants now, it's Black and brown people now, but how soon is it till they get to us? So, thank you.
Thank you. I'm coming, I see you.
Hi, my name's Sarah Peach. There was a question earlier about whether the community supports council fighting back on this stuff. And I just want to say it's never been so clear what the right side of history is. And it's been so frightening in the past months to see so many leaders caving to pressure. And I just hope that all of us as a community can be as courageous as we can in this time. And of course, we should fight back as much as we can.
Thank you, Sarah. We will definitely communicate that back to our council. Appreciate it. Lucy.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Lucy Lewis, longtime Carrboro resident. And I wanted to thank the town of Carrboro for having this town hall. I think it's really important in this time to hear from our elected officials, and we appreciate the opportunity for our elected officials to hear from us as we descend into authoritarianism. I just wanted to piggyback a couple of the last couple comments. I think the being proactively prepared to deal with our immigrant community members being taken, how we're going to respond to that. But also, Carrboro has a large percentage of students, and what we're seeing is students being kidnapped off their campuses because of speaking out, and we know that students at UNC have been speaking out, whether it's Black Lives Matter or supporting the Israeli genocide. So being proactively prepared by our police and our council to protect our students, because as you said, if they come for those folks who are our communities, they can come for anybody, and we have to be prepared. And just a brief promo is, I'm also a member of the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, which has been here in Chapel Hill since 1935. We have a permit to be at the Peace and Justice Plaza the first Thursday of every month from 1 to 2. We have signs about Gaza, about peace, about hands off Medicaid, Medicare, stop the coup. Folks are welcome to join us. That's the first Thursday of every month from 12 to 1 at Peace and Justice Plaza. And thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Miss Lucy. Okay, got a hand in the back as well.
Thank you. My name's Rob. One of the things that's here is we're all preaching to the choir, and we need to get beyond that choir. You can get on you can get in touch with other representatives and government officials, but if you don't live and vote in their district, they don't care what you have to say, because you have no impact on their future in government. That's just a sorry truth. But the way you can impact on them is we have to reach across district borders, district lines, and make alliances with groups in their districts and start working with the people who do live and who do vote in their districts. And if you get a strong enough movement going there, they'll start to pay attention, because the one thing these people want is they want to keep those jobs. It's a great gig being a congressman, being a senator. They don't want to lose it. And if they start to get the idea that enough people in their districts are unhappy with the way things are going, and I think a lot of people are very unhappy with the direction of this country right now, then we can really start to make a difference. And the only way we're going to change things is to change the people who are passing the laws. The ones who have bowed down to Trump, well, get somebody with a backbone in there, and maybe they'll stand up against him and do the right thing. But until we start doing that, I don't want to sound too pessimistic, but the shit's just going to get deeper, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. And I really hope that Carrboro will remain a sanctuary city.
Thank you, Rob. Anybody else? Okay. Of course, and then watch someone over here is going to want, I'm getting my steps in. Okay.
My name is Virginia Adamson. The first thing I want to say is we should be pessimistic. And the reason is because if we aren't pessimistic, we won't save ourselves. That's the first thing to think about. The second thing to think about is getting together. Because of the way the state charters towns and cities, the town's hands are mostly tied. So that means the community has to get together, and the community has to do something. So my suggestion is we get together, and I will invite you all this afternoon to Wilson Park, to the pavilion, for an indivisible meeting. We are forming an indivisible chapter for Orange County.
Right now we have about 50 people on the list, but hey, there's 50 more in here. And this is just Carborough. The time for today is 3:30 to 5. It'll be our 4th organizing meeting, but hey, this is awesome. The more people we have, the more hands, the more voices. And next Saturday, April the 5th, is a hands-off rally. There's one in Raleigh that Indivisible, among others, is supporting. And there's also a rally in Nashville, North Carolina, which is looking for bodies because they need additional bodies. So we're trying to talk about whether or not we'll go to Nashville or whether we'll just go to Raleigh. But Indivisible, look it up, indivisible.org. They were started right after the first orange person was elected. The first time the orange person was elected, I won't say that person's name. And right after the election in 24, they came out with their new guide. They work nationally, they work in grassroots organizations. It's a fabulous group of progressive people working. The specific mission is save democracy.
The April 5th website also gives Chapel Hill as one of the.
Okay, there may be, and I haven't read that yet, but I'm sure there may be one in, yeah, there may be one in Chapel Hill as well for hands off. Lots of rallies everywhere.
Okay, thank you, Virginia.
Today at Wilson Park.
Where's Wilson Park? That's
Just north of Estes Drive, on the right on Hillsborough. Off of William Street. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yep. Hi, I'm Caroline Pence. I would love for the town to provide opportunities for training about if we see someone being kidnapped on the street, if we see someone being harassed, what can we do? I think for those of us who are white and who enjoy unearned privilege and who might have a little bit more of a chance of staying safe while intervening. We want our trans neighbors to be safe. We want our immigrant neighbors to be safe. That's what I'm hearing here. And I would love some training on, is there one thing I could do if I see this happen? Is there one way I could stick my neck out a little further than someone else might be able to? Thanks.
Thank you, Caroline. Our police chief is here taking notes. Yeah. All right. I saw a hand. I'll come back this way. No, it's okay.
Hi. Just a quick comment. My name's Marty. Super new to the area. Thanks for having this town hall. It's super exciting to see a community come together and be so determined to fight for justice. I worked in city government before this, and getting a bunch of people to a Saturday morning meeting's really hard. So this is super exciting to see. But I want to echo the last comment of, I think, a kind of know your rights or fact sheet or resource guide of if you see something or if you are one experiencing this, specifically for our undocumented immigrant community, how to handle that situation or what people's rights actually are. I apologize if you guys already have that, but I just don't know. But I think that'd be a helpful resource to have.
Great comment. Thank you.
Hi, Lucy again. For a point of information, I know the Church World Service in Durham does those trainings. So when you're thinking about resources, that might be one you'd want to consider.
Ms. May saying the staff has been cut, but we've taken note, and is what we can do, we will absolutely help.
Hi, my name is Ben Blaisdell. Just on that note, though, Siembra is an organization that does training too, and I know they've done some recently, I think in Burlington, but I would love to see them here in town as well.
And we have El Centro in town as well as a resource.
I'm also an artist at Front Gallery. I run the Outreach Refugee Program. I've done it for 15 years. We have read the their rights to our refugee students, and they will tell their parents. And so these rights came from the Orange County Office of Equity and Inclusion, and they know exactly what to say, what to do, what not to say, and what not to do. It's very important that the children also know how to react. And children are able to speak the language better than their parents. So this is really important. Just to say that we in Frank have also just applied for we're implementing an accessibility grant to make our business more accessible to everybody. So we just got an NEA accessibility grant before they cut off the money. So just for the information.
Great. Thank you. Miss Betty has her hand up, community advocate.
Yes, I said I wasn't going to say nothing, but it's really difficult. First I want to say to my community, let's not stress, y'all. We okay. We're going to be okay. We've gotten through many things in society, right? So I'm a firm believer, and I believe we're going to get through this as well. But one of the things I was concerned about was, what do reparation for Black Carrboro going to look like now? As a racial equity commissioner, these have been concerns. I hear people concerning others' concerns, but the reparations for Black Carrboro has never exceeded. The blacks in this community have always been victims of a struggle, and now it's possible that their history might be dismantled or disregarded, which is very disturbing to me, because my ancestors built this community that everybody is prospering of. So I would appreciate, the acknowledgement, because we do exist. And I'm just concerned about what is that going to look like for the little bit of blacks that live here in this community, because there's really very little of us. But those that have raised here, have been here, descendants from families here, what is, going to happen? And my concerns are, what is reparations for Black Carrboro going to look like? Which Carrboro paid themselves to do? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I just want kind of a point of information from maybe the police chief, or I'm not sure who else from the town, but just for the room's understanding of what they are required to do or have to do in any kind of situation where immigration is brought in, both from the local police level and from the county sheriff level. I would like to understand what they're required to do, what they're willing to toe the line at, where their line in the sand is, as far as we will not do X, Y, or Z.
Great question.
Okay. I said I wasn't responding to things, but what I will say, Chris, is that we are not required to assist ICE at this point. And as long as we're not required to, we will not. And our police department, they just are doing what they do, but we are not involved in any raids or anything. But if the police chief wants to comment on this, and then I'll come back to.
Let me come up front so you don't have to turn around and crane your heads. Number one, thank you for your question. So I've been here just over 26 years, and I can tell you this. Never has the Carrboro Police Department been interested in immigration enforcement. Never has it been an issue for us in terms of how we provide services to the community. It's been an interesting 2 months, and I'm trying not to make a comment as in a professional role. So I need you to understand that. I'm a human being. My wife is a teacher. I have kids in the school system here. And I'm trying to think of an adjective that can sum it up. And I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss, frankly. So I'm with you on that. I actually physically feel disgust, right? I physically feel it, right? It's actually a visceral experience. So I'm there. Number one, it's never been something we deal with. And as the town manager said, it's not something we're required to be involved in. We are not going to be involved in it. ICE has been in town years past doing generally apprehensions for violent crimes. Now, we've seen the change, right? So they are a separate entity. We do not communicate with them. We do not share information with them. Now, understand they are a federal entity. So they do have powers, but they cannot compel us at this time, right? Because we know we have no involvement with that. And as your police chief, as someone who's been here, as the son of a naturalized American citizen, as someone born abroad myself, I feel it. I physically feel it. So please call me if you have concerns. I do think the immigrant rights information is going to be key. I've jotted that down. I'm trying to be modern. I've put it in my phone as notes, not written it down. So some will make fun of me for that. But yes, 100%, do we also have the same concerns you do?
Thank you. Okay.
Hey, my name's Karen. Our church actually has a card that we've provided for people. One side it's for to give to someone who may not, speak English as a first language. It has English on the front, and Spanish is on one of the cards, and there's another language on the back, and I'm sorry I didn't bring one with me. And they provide it for people. It's about the size of a business card to sort of carry around with you, and that you could give out. It is a resource that they provide for our congregation because we are very active in the community. We have a refugee resettlement program within our church that settled a lot of families here. But that is one resource I think that maybe is real easy to sort of print up. I can make it available for someone who, maybe to you to sort of see. That might be an easy thing that maybe it could be available for folks to have on their possession to hand out, even if you don't speak the language.
Binkley Baptist Church. Thank you. Wait a minute. Oh, you may not have been here in the beginning, but we are taking notes and we will provide feedback on what we heard today. So some of the resources. Yes, and engage Carborough, and our communications director will show you what that is afterwards. But if you have to leave early, it's engage. Just go to our website and engage Carborough. Okay, there was a hand over here. Okay, here, and then I'll go back to you guys.
I just wanted to say that the town of Carborough is already doing something. Outside, on this long table, there's a basket full of the U.S. Constitution that ACLU and Carborough are providing. On page 47, know your rights, what to do if you're stopped by the police, and a whole lot of information. So Carborough is already doing something.
Thank you.
Going off of what Miss Betty said about reparations, she had to leave, but too bad she couldn't hear this. But I've noticed that the Carborough Police Department have Black Lives Matter emblazoned on their building, but yet most of the people that I see who are either homeless or living in a slum apartment are African American men and women, and even families. And I think, how can we be a progressive town? This and when we're catering to rich white people from up north who have millions of dollars who buy up all our properties and then raise the rent, how can we help these people out? It makes I'm not even black, but it makes my blood boil. That a lot of people cannot get these people, and some of these people have been here for generations, and I don't want to see them go. They work hard. They provide a lot to the community, just like the immigrants. But these are people who've been here for since like the 1950s or earlier, and they're being priced out. So we don't want to be a bunch of limousine liberals, as I like to call, where we're like focusing on rich liberalism, like, oh, la di da, I drink Starbucks and listen to NPR. Aren't I progressive? We need to actually focus on the people in our community, and we need to provide, and then we can do that with providing affordable housing, and an apartment ain't a house. Every man and woman and non-binary deserves their own spot of land to call their own. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just be careful how you say NPR. Trump is trying to shut them down too. As of last week.
I'm not surprised.
Stan. My name is Marvin Chambers. I have a couple of thoughts. First, I'd just like to thank everybody for your comments and for being here. And for those of you who welcome myself and my children. I honestly saw, I'm a business owner in Carborough. I saw the flyer for this gathering on my way to work and from work, and I made note, but I forgot this morning and rushed over with the plan to go somewhere else. And then I thought about it. But I thought that this was a town hall for the library and what to do about the space. And so as a writer, I was thinking I need to figure out how to do a symposium here. And so that was so as I'm sitting and I'm understanding what this is about, I'm doubly excited to see all of you here and talking about these things, because these are big deals. I will just, I guess I'll put that out there because maybe that's necessary. That I can, what I would like to see is a symposium discussing some of these things that are happening, because they're not just community oriented. I mean, this is a grassroots organization right here in terms of the town, but the things that are going on are legal, they are political, they are educational, they are philosophical, they're social, they're psychological. There's a lot happening. I think that with all of these higher learning institutions in the area, that we can dissect all of these different things. And so I just put that out there. Thanks.
Thank you, Marvin. A symposium. But you ended up in the right space, so this is good.
I'm sorry to occupy so much time, but he mentioned the library, so I had to say one thing about the library. Love the building. The parking lot or parking deck is so hideous, and I really hope the town will find money somewhere in all of this to either do murals on the side or some kind of scrim to or facade to make it a little bit more attractive. That's all.
Great idea, Chris. Any artists in the room to do murals? Okay. All right.
Thank you so much. Hello, my name is Ariana. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for hosting this. I'd like to ask more about the Pillar for Sustainability. As part of your initiative, are you looking into protections for the town when dealing with inclement weather, with the more disastrous, more extreme, and unexpected climate that's coming towards us as we consider what we can do? I'd like to know more about that.
Great question. Climate action question. We are climate action people. And there's stormwater concerns as well, which is actually another division. But I'll turn it over to Amy if you want to.
Sure. I would love to talk to you more about this. Any of you who are interested, I have I have lots of things to do. There's lots of work to do here in Carborough. And so I've only been the Chief Sustainability Officer for 3 months, but I have had the privilege of speaking with many members of our community about how climate change is already impacting this community. And some of the ways that we think about this, Patrice already mentioned. We know that we have two big climate vulnerabilities that are already harming us. One of them is extreme heat. And so thinking about how in some places of our community, the temperatures on hot summer days can be almost 11 degrees warmer than in other neighborhoods in our community. And so that's one big issue that I've been thinking a whole lot about as we start to get into spring and then summer. The second is also stormwater. And so thinking about how flooding has impacted this community, how our existing infrastructure was built for a climate that no longer exists. And so how can we think creatively and innovatively as a community about how we address what we know are going to be more frequent, more severe storms that bring more precipitation to our community. You're welcome.
Great. Macy, we can tell you where not to go in the rain.
Hi, thank you. There's two things. I want to get back on the issue of race equity, since it's important to everyone, but it's important to me. One thing to kind of reiterate what Miss Betty said before, that I hope the town continues to push for reparations for the Black community, and to hear from the town about specific ways that we could help that happen, would certainly be useful. And then second, I work for the UNC system, and when I see a lot of compliance in advance of policy, I'm hoping the town doesn't do that. I understand the town will need our support in resisting compliance, but to send the message that there are those of us in the community that don't want to see compliance in advance, that we want to continue race equity efforts, even understanding it could be tough if that becomes illegal in certain ways.
Thank you, Ben. We ditto. And we do not plan to change this work. We value it. It is so important to what we do. It's who we are. And until there's some legal enforcement to say we cannot do this any longer, at least as town manager, we're committed to it. But our council, our mayor, for sure, is committed to this work, and our council collectively. So that is one, I think, thing I can say for sure, that we will move forward strongly and in ways that really uplift this work. All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay.
This is a request on a far more local level. The bus stop signs, can they be updated with accurate timetables? Because I can't get the app to work. I don't understand the app. It makes no sense. So if like every bus stop had an accurate timetable for what bus is coming at what time, that would do so much good to help with the transportation problem.
Thank you, Cody. That is not under our purview, but we will definitely get back to Chapel Hill Transit. And we are partners with them, and we do pay to have free bus service come to Carborough. Do y'all want to add something?
They're solving problems.
Okay, y'all solving the problem. Yeah. So I was saying Chapel Hill Transit is responsible. We pay into that as a town of Carborough to have free bus service, and so we can definitely get that information back. Mr. Braxton Fushi, I do want to acknowledge him. He's a former, at the time, alderman, council member, and was part of bus transportation into Carborough. And so he's part of why we have free a bus system here in Carborough. So yes, let's thank him for that. Yeah. Yeah. Now, and that is important to us, and we want really great bus service. It also cuts down on the number of cars, so we have free and accessible bus service is a positive for our environment as well. Okay.
Sorry for taking up a lot of the speaking time, but I'd like to thank the Honorable Mr. Fushi for his contribution to the to public transit in the area. But Brian Litchfield is kind of annoyed with me because of my activism. You know, I am kind of a thorn in the side sometimes, but I did get the Chapel Hill Transit to run at night now after 3.5 years because of the pandemic, because of a lot of times because of my activism, but also because they got more drivers. But if you guys could pass along a message to Chapel Hill Transit, I kind of wish there could be a bus stop in front of Club Nova, which I'm a member of, because there's like a bus stop like all the way by the Youth Works. Then there's not another bus stop until all the way to the all day records, like probably like about I don't know, like several blocks away. And I think if we could have like a little middle spot for Chapel Hill Transit to stop at the in front of Club Nova, because a lot of the members there can't drive. So I think that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Isaac. Okay. We're winding down. Any other pressing issues that you all would want the town to know, that's weighing on your heart? This has been great. I really just appreciate y'all coming. I had no idea who was going to show up, what it was going to look like, but you all are here. You care. We heard your issues around affordable housing, winter shelter, the fear of federal funding ending, climate action, bus service, immigration, what to do, what our rights are, police engagement, and not engaging in ICE efforts, pro bono attorneys, and support for our community. So we heard the gamut, and continued support for our race equity work. I heard that loud and clear, and we will not back down until they force us to back down. So, any last minute thoughts or comments? Lori, okay.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Lori Policelli. I work with Orange County Tourism, and the site of Main Street where the Hampton Hotel is a big favorite for tourists. So we had the Art Center who just relocated, which is fabulous. And then there's rumors that Cat's Cradle is moving in over to Brewer. So I'm wondering if you can just touch on some of the hospitality issues, specifically Art Center and Cat's Cradle for the future.
Well, I'm not going to put him on the spot per se, but John Hartman Brown is back here. He's our Economic Development Director. John, do you want to respond to this? And if not, we can create a response, Lori. But great question. Tourism and hospitality is a focus of the town as well. So, John.
Thank you. Thanks, Lori. So yes, Cat's Cradle is doing improvement on Brewer Lane, so they'll look at moving. We're working with the shopping center owner. That whole complex is owned by one development group, and so we're working with them on potential future growth opportunities there. You may have heard about a second hotel going in there, so that's a little on the fence right now. But we're really kind of looking at what potentially we could do in that shopping center there. So. Carborough is such a unique community, and so it creates a great selling point for destination for a lot of visitors to come and enjoy our community and explore what we have to offer. So we'll continue to use the Hampton Inn as our cornerstone for our tourism industry, and continue to look at developing that complex to enhance our tourism.
Okay. All right.
It's me again. And what I was thinking about that at, we're talking about the Black communities, and those two areas that you just talked about used to be Black communities. Please look at the effect of development on the surrounding community. You took out a lot of history, went out with the hotel because you had Butler's Garage and some other things back there that had been there for years. And now Brewer Lane, for those of you who don't know that community is called Tin Top. And I'm just sorry, I have family connections to Tin Top all the way back to the 50s. But please start looking at the effect of developments on the surrounding communities, because you don't have too many predominantly Black communities left in Southern Orange County. Just realize that.
Thank you, Miss May. That was a trigger.
Hi. My name is Paula Harrington, and I work with people in recovery from substance use and mental disabilities. And I'm also the board chair of the Freedom House Recovery Center. But I'm very grateful that for years we've had 4 recovery houses, Oxford houses in Orange County. Thanks to y'all, that we do have a place for our recovering community to get better and live and become a viable member of the community, which is what we do. I myself was in recovery. I have 27 years. I was a heroin addict for 30 years. I retired from UNC Chapel Hill, and I was in the first Oxford House, Women's Oxford House in Chapel Hill. And I'm still here, and we still do the work. And I just wanted to mention that. I know Anne Marie real good, but we still, y'all support us. And this is part of everything that's going on. So we need a safe place for people to recover. And because it is a disease, and there's treatment. And May knows me. But anyway, I just wanted to say that y'all have, the police chief has always been supportive of recovery houses. So I just thought I would mention that.
Thank you, and congratulations on your recovery. Okay. I knew somebody else was back here. I felt it.
My name's Hannah. I've only been in town maybe 6 years, and I wanted to acknowledge I've got all this because I have a concussion right now, so that's why I've got my Secret Service get up on. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for creating this space, and I came in today really scared because I didn't think that they could get their hands on our community, and then all of a sudden the past few days have been, that reality has hit me, and so I've been scared. And then Miss Betty told me not to be scared. And so now I'm feeling a little bit better actually. And just want to thank all of you for your contributions. And it's really encouraging and empowering. And I'm still a little scared actually, I'll be honest, but feeling a lot better and encouraged about the people that we have in our community who are making moves. So thank you all.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Back row? No? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Mr. Fouché, would you like to say anything? I'll put him on the spot. I'll come back there.
My name is Braxton Fouché, and one of the things that I say all the time, you have to be in the community to know the community. And Patrice and the town does an excellent job at that. And the police department. I think everybody in here should know about how to look at a situation and see if it happens in front of you, what to do and how far you can go. And I just say to Carver and Chapel Hill, keep the good work up.
Thank you, Mr. Fouché. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I think we are going to wrap it up. There are no further comments from anyone. And what I'll do is end with Kat. Kat, come on up for our communications and engagement director. She's going to tell you all how to continue to stay connected and engaged. So, Kat.
Thank you, Patrice. It's interesting. I'm here to encourage your connection, but I can see that many of you are already connected, and that's wonderful. As some of you were coming in, I asked how you learned about this town hall. I heard postcard. Someone said the newsletter. There is a Town of Carrboro weekly newsletter that you can sign up to receive by email or text. And if you go to that left QR code, that's where you find the sign up, or you go to our website. And there's a button in the upper left corner that says sign up, and you can go to sign up for the newsletter. And then another person said they saw a flyer. So I thought that was great. Yes, we regularly post to our town information centers, which are outdoor message kiosks. What else am I forgetting? Social media. We're very active on social media. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Nextdoor, LinkedIn. We try to, and we're recently on Blue Sky. So look for Town of Carrboro or Carrboro NC. We're always looking for new ways to connect with you. So if you have an idea, please, talk to me afterward. There are postcards outside with more information about Engage Carrboro, but it is just an engagement platform, and we're going to be posting more information this session and maybe future meetings to Engage Carrboro. And the QR code to the right is for that website. All right. Thank you.
So we will, in addition, as I noted before, gather some of your comments, questions, concerns, and try to do some kind of response package on our Engaged Carrboro website. And if you have other ideas, how did you all feel like this was a beneficial time and platform? Okay, great. This is our first ever, but we want to hear from you. We can gather this information and make sure we give it back to our mayor and council. This is a more relaxing space that you all can lift your voices. And we heard some important upcoming events, some meal opportunities near as ever. But I think we captured it, and so we can make sure people are aware of the event you mentioned, Miss Virginia. And so we'll have all of that posted so you all can be aware of some of the events, even today at 3:30 at Wilson Park. And so we won't have that posted, but just so know that is an opportunity to continue to be engaged. Please eat some food on your way out. Please, please, please. But thank y'all so for coming. Take care. Bye-bye.